Number 11. The country has never built an army. In the middle of the Indian Ocean lies Mauritius, an island nation measuring only about 788 square miles. You can drive from one end of the island to the other in less than 2 hours. Yet within this tiny territory exists a remarkably diverse society. Despite its small size of only about 788 square miles, Mauritius is home to over 2 million people, with a population density exceeding 1,500 people per square mile. The island is one of the most densely populated countries in the world. But Mauritius is more than just blue seas, luxury hotels, and perfect vacation photos. Subscribe to the channel, because we'll be leaving the resorts to explore the real lives of the locals and little-known customs in this paradise in the middle of the ocean. On this tiny piece of land, 4 religions share a single street corner. The nation has no standing army and claims to have no enemies. This is the only home the dodo has ever had, and its people, just over 1 million, are ranked among the happiest in all of Africa. Mauritius has not maintained a traditional standing army since gaining independence from Britain in 1968. There are no army divisions, battle tanks, military bases filled with aircraft, or generals commanding thousands of soldiers. The primary security tasks are carried out by the Mauritius Police Force. Within this structure are the Special Mobile Force, a paramilitary unit responsible for internal security and emergency operations, and the National Coast Guard, responsible for patrolling the country's vast maritime territory. This difference is crucial. Mauritius is not entirely defenseless. It still possesses an armed force, patrol vessels, surveillance capabilities, and international security partnerships. What Mauritius lacks is a traditional, independently operating military system. Geography helps explain this choice. Mauritius has no land borders. Its nearest neighbors are hundreds of miles across the ocean. Since gaining independence, Mauritius has never experienced civil war, a military coup, or armed conflict within its territory. In the 2026 Global Peace Index, Mauritius ranked 18th in the world and continues to be the most peaceful country in sub-Saharan Africa. This achievement is particularly noteworthy in a region where many countries spend vast sums of money dealing with insurgency, border disputes, coups, and internal conflicts. Mauritius allocates a much smaller portion of its national budget to militarization. That doesn't mean every penny saved automatically goes to schools or hospitals. Government spending is more complex than that. However, not having to maintain a large-scale defense apparatus has allowed the country to prioritize social programs that directly impact daily life. Number 10. Why doesn't Africa's happiest country always smile? World happiness isn't measured by how many times people laugh or whether everyone is always happy. People judge their own quality of life. Income is important, but social support, health, freedom, confidence, and the ability to overcome difficult times without losing everything are equally important. In 2026, Mauritius ranked 73rd in the world with a score of 5,939. This result placed it above all other African nations. Part of the reason lies in its welfare system. Public secondary education has been free since 1977. Public higher education subsequently became free of charge for Mauritian citizens. The state also subsidizes transportation for students, the elderly, and people with disabilities. Public health care is provided without generating the enormous hospital bills that can bankrupt a family, as is the case in many other places. These programs don't make Mauritius rich by Western European standards, they create something else, a basic level of security. A child born into a low-income family can attend school, complete high school, and even attend a public university without tuition becoming an insurmountable barrier. An elderly person can use public transportation without having to worry about whether the journey is too expensive. However, happiness ranking doesn't equate to perfection. In 2025, the unemployment rate for those aged 16 to 24 will reach 18%. Public debt will rise to approximately 91% of GDP by mid-2026. Inflation will have decreased in the early months of 2026, but will begin to rise again as external pressures affect imported goods. Mauritians may love their country, but still complain about wages, transportation, housing, food prices, and political decisions. Happiness here doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means that, compared to many other countries, people have more robust support systems when difficulties arise. Number 9. 4 religions share one island. Despite its small size, Mauritius is one of the most religiously diverse countries in the world. Hinduism is the largest religion, making Mauritius the only country in Africa where Hinduism is the most prevalent religious community. Christianity also has a deep influence, particularly among the Creole and French Mauritanian communities. Muslims form another significant group, while Chinese Mauritanians maintain Buddhism, Taoism, Christianity, and other traditional beliefs. This diversity is openly displayed rather than hidden. In Port Louis and many other towns, a Hindu temple might be located near a mosque, a Catholic church, and a Chinese temple. Religious symbols that would typically be found in separate neighborhoods elsewhere can coexist within a single commercial area in Mauritius. Public holidays include celebrations related to Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, and Chinese traditions. The office may be closed during Diwali, Eid, Christmas, Mahashivaratri, and Lunar New Year. Not all citizens participate in every religious festival. However, the entire country recognizes holidays belonging to different communities. This system is formed from a difficult history. Mauritius did not have a large indigenous community before the colonial period. The country's modern society was formed from enslaved Africans, contract laborers from India, European settlers, Chinese traders, and immigrants from neighboring islands. These groups did not arrive on equal terms. Some came voluntarily, many did not. Number 8. A nation living between 3 languages. Mauritius doesn't use the same language in government offices, newspapers, classrooms, and family kitchens. English is the official language of Parliament, although MPs may also speak in French. English is widely used in the administration and education system. French, however, predominates in much of the media, advertising, entertainment, and business. But in everyday conversations, Mauritian Creole is the language visitors most often hear. Creole Mauritian developed primarily from French, but absorbed influences from African languages, Malagasy, English, and Asian communities. It emerged among people who needed to communicate with one another, despite the divisions created by slavery and colonialism. For generations, Creole was considered an informal language rather than a suitable language for education or administration. Today, it is increasingly appearing in schools, literature, music, public campaigns, and national discussions. Many Mauritians switch between languages without considering it unusual. A conversation might begin in Creole, interspersed with a French phrase, and end with an English technical term. An advertisement might be written in French, while the relevant legal document is drafted in English. Families of Indian descent may also maintain Bhojpuri, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, or Marathi. The Chinese community still preserves Hakka, Cantonese, and other languages, although their daily use is declining among younger generations. Number 7. The island where festivals never stop. Mauritius has so many festivals that the national calendar resembles a journey across continents. One of the biggest festivals is Maha Shivaratri. Hundreds of thousands of Hindu pilgrims journey to Grand Basin, also known as Ganga Talao, a crater lake surrounded by temples and statues of deities amidst the island's mountains. Many people walk long distances while carrying elaborately decorated wooden structures called kanwar on their shoulders. Some go barefoot. Water from the lake is brought home for use in religious ceremonies. The scale of the festival is particularly impressive because it doesn't take place in India. It is held on a tropical island in Africa, more than 2,000 miles from the Indian subcontinent. During Taipusam Kavadi, Tamil devotees carry decorated structures and may pierce their skin with needles as a sign of discipline and faith. Diwali fills homes and streets with lights. Holi involves covering participants with colored powder. Eid brings families together through prayer and meals. Christmas decorations appear in towns with many non-Christian residents. Lunar New Year brings lion dances, firecrackers, red decorations, and family reunions. Next came the Sega, a musical tradition most closely associated with the island's African and Creole heritage. Traditional Sega used instruments such as the ravan, a round drum wrapped in goat skin. The skin was heated to change its tension and create the characteristic low-pitched rhythm for the dance. This music was created by enslaved communities and once carried suffering, resistance, and memories. Today, it appears at festivals, weddings, public performances, and tourist events. UNESCO added Mauritius's traditional Sega to the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity in 2014. Mauritius is not simply tolerant of different traditions. The nation has built much of its national identity from openly celebrating them together. Number 6. The entire island served on a single plate. Mauritian cuisine is difficult to categorize entirely by continent. Ingredients may come from the tropics, spices from India, cooking techniques from China, sauces influenced by France, but the final dish is ultimately Mauritian. The most famous street food on the island is dole puri. It's a thin flatbread filled with mashed yellow peas. Vendors fold the bread around a pea curry, pickled vegetables, tomato sauce, and chili peppers. This dish is cheap, quick, filling, and consumed by people of all ethnic and religious backgrounds. A popular stall can sell a huge quantity during lunchtime. Gâteau piments are another popular snack. These small fried pastries combine shelled beans, herbs, and chilies. They are sold at markets, bakeries, and street stalls, sometimes sandwiched between bread. Chinese influence is evident in the stir-fried noodles called mein fried, along with dumplings, rice dishes, and stir-fried vegetables. Creole cuisine contributes rugai, a tomato sauce often seasoned with onions, garlic, thyme, ginger, and chili peppers. It can be eaten with fish, sausages, meat, or cured seafood. The surrounding waters provide octopus, tuna, marlin, shellfish, and reef fish. Octopus can be grilled, curried, dried, or processed into vinde with mustard, turmeric, and vinegar. Even the drinks reflect this blending. A lauda combines milk, syrup, basil seeds, and agar jelly. It's similar to South Asian faluda, but has evolved into a signature drink in Mauritian markets. Mauritian cuisine isn't the kind of fusion food invented in a modern restaurant. It's the result of many communities cooking together for generations. And if you enjoy exploring a country through the food its people actually eat every day, subscribe to the channel. The most authentic part of a country is often far removed from the fancy hotels. Number 5. Birds never learned how to run away. No animal is more closely associated with Mauritius than the dodo. The dodo is a large, flightless bird. It evolved on an island without large land predators, so the ability to fly gradually became unnecessary. That isolation also meant the birds had almost no reason to fear approaching creatures. When European sailors arrived in Mauritius, they discovered a species that didn't exist anywhere else on Earth. The disappearance of the dodo is likely the result of multiple pressures, not just one simple cause. Humans hunted some individuals, while rats, pigs, monkeys, and other animals brought to the island ate the eggs and destroyed the nesting areas. The forests were cleared as settlements and plantations expanded. By the end of the 17th century, the dodo had disappeared. Today, the dodo is ubiquitous in Mauritius. It appears on the national coat of arms, coins, corporate logos, souvenirs, signs, clothing, and tourism advertisements. This creates a strange paradox. The country's most famous animal is one that no tourist will ever see alive. The dodo has become more than just a symbol of Mauritius. It represents extinction caused by human arrival. That history later prompted the island to implement some of the world's most drastic conservation programs. Number 4. 4 birds prevent a species from disappearing. The dodo is not the last Mauritian species to approach the brink of extinction. Centuries of deforestation, along with the introduction of rats, cats, monkeys, deer, pigs, and invasive plants, have devastated the island's native ecosystem. Only a very small fraction of the high-quality primary forest remains. One of the most notable cases is the Mauritian falcon. By the 1970s, only 4 individuals were known to exist. At that time, it was considered one of the rarest birds on Earth. Conservators protected nests, collected eggs, raised chicks, provided supplemental food, controlled predators, and released young birds into safer environments. Eventually, their numbers recovered to hundreds of individuals. The echo parrot has also undergone a similar journey. Habitat loss and competition from invasive species once pushed them close to extinction. Breeding in captivity, nest management, predator control, and habitat restoration have helped rebuild wild populations. By 2019, the IUCN recorded over 750 echo parrots in the wild and changed the species status from endangered to critically endangered. Pink pigeons have also recovered from extremely low numbers. These programs have transformed Mauritius from a global symbol of extinction into an international example of species resilience. The story remains complex. Conservation groups must constantly remove invasive plants and control alien predators. Native animals remain concentrated in small areas. Storms, diseases, and climate change can quickly reverse decades of progress. Controversy also exists surrounding the Mauritius foxbat. Farmers argue the bats destroy fruit, while conservationists warn that killing an endangered native species could lead to another ecological disaster. Mauritius has not yet resolved the extinction issue, but the country has demonstrated that recovery is possible as the government, scientists, and local organizations continue to work even after international attention has faded. Number 3. Paradise depends on cargo ships. Mauritius looks green and fertile, but it cannot produce everything needed for its more than 1 million inhabitants and large-scale tourism industry. A significant portion of food, fuel, machinery, medicine, and consumer goods must be transported from overseas. This leaves daily life vulnerable to events occurring thousands of miles away. As global fuel prices rise, so do transportation costs. Disrupted shipping routes make imports more expensive. When the Mauritian rupee depreciates, the same container of food will cost more in local currency. This is one reason why a tourist's experience can be completely different from the lives of local residents. A tourist might spend hundreds of dollars a night at a seaside resort. Meanwhile, a local worker might only earn a modest monthly salary, but has to pay the prices of an island nation for imported food, electricity, transportation, and housing. The economy is now much stronger than it was during the period of independence. Tourism creates jobs and generates foreign exchange. It also makes the country vulnerable to economic downturns, pandemics, air travel disruptions, and changes in international travel patterns. Number 2. A young island on a lost continent. The part of Mauritius we see is relatively young geologically. Volcanic activity began forming the island about 8 to 9 million years ago. Lava accumulated on the ocean floor, creating mountains, plateaus, and craters. Subsequent erosion continued to shape the volcanic landscape. Trou aux Cerfs is an extinct crater. Now surrounded by roads and residential areas, the Black River Gorges features steep valleys, waterfalls, and remnants of native forest. Chamarel is famous for its mounds of earth displaying a multitude of reds, browns, purples, yellows, and blues. The colors are related to the weathering of volcanic rock and the concentration of mineral compounds. Near Le Morne, ocean currents drag sand and sediment along an underwater slope. Viewed from above, it creates the illusion of a waterfall cascading down from the ocean. In reality, nothing is falling from the edge of the island. The seabed topography, currents, and varying water depths create this visual effect. However, the most unusual discovery is hidden within the island's volcanic rock. They named this submerged geological area Mauritia. This doesn't mean a lost civilization sank into the ocean. Mauritia is a geological microcontinent, a piece of ancient continental crust buried beneath layers of younger volcanic material and oceanic sediments. So, Mauritius is like two worlds stacked on top of each other. The island that rises above the surface is only a few million years old, but part of the crust lying beneath may have existed for billions of years. A young tropical island sits atop the remains of an ancient continent. Number 1. The ocean protects Mauritius, becoming a threat. Mauritius derives much of its beauty from the coral reefs that surround the island. The reefs reduce the power of waves, create calm lagoons, provide habitats for marine life, support the fishing industry, and protect beaches from erosion. They also support the tourism industry. But coral reefs are vulnerable to warming seawater, pollution, sedimentation, uncontrolled coastal development, and strong storms. High ocean temperatures can cause coral bleaching. In these events, corals push out the algae that provide much of their color and energy. Bleached corals don't die immediately, but prolonged high temperatures can kill entire areas. When coral reefs weaken, coastlines lose part of their natural defense system. Mauritius already faces tropical storms, flooding, coastal erosion, and water stress. The World Bank estimates climate-related damage costs the country around 0.8% of its GDP annually. For a vast landlocked country, communities threatened by rising sea levels may sometimes have to move further inland. Mauritius has very limited space. The cyclone season typically occurs during warmer, wetter periods of the year. Powerful storms can force schools to close, disrupt transportation, damage power grids, flood roads, and interrupt shipping. Climate change is creating another crisis that is unfolding more slowly. Beaches are eroding. Saltwater is affecting coastal ecosystems. Coral cover is declining. Rainfall is becoming more unpredictable, and freshwater management is becoming more difficult. The lagoons surrounding Mauritius create an image that attracts tourists from around the world, but this is also one of the country's most vulnerable systems. Protecting the coastline will require coral reef restoration, better infrastructure development, controlled development, and making difficult decisions about areas where construction should not continue. Would you choose to live on an island like this, a place with no standing army, free public services, and tropical beaches, but also high costs, limited land, and increasing climate risks? Share your answer in the comments, and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring lesser-known countries, islands, and communities that are far more complex than they initially appear.
जो कि इस साइड पर जाएंगे और इस साइड अगर आप आते हैं मैं लेके चलता हूँ आपको और आगे देखना।